Sutra. Moreover, was in the Bodhisattvas, Mahasattvas, the various causes and conditions, the various beliefs and understandings, and the various appearances of their practice of the Bodhisattva way. Commentary. Moreover, was in the Bodhisattvas, Mahasattvas, the various causes and conditions by which they cultivated the Dharma laws to teach and transform various kinds of living beings. The various beliefs and understandings, perhaps they cultivated through belief and understanding of the Four Holy Truths, or perhaps through belief and understanding of the 12 causes and conditions, or perhaps through belief and understanding of the 6 perfections and the 10,000 conducts. The various appearances of their practice of the Bodhisattva way. This does not refer to the physical appearances of the Bodhisattvas, but to the various practices and dharmas they cultivated. They practiced the Bodhisattva way. What is the Bodhisattva way? It is to benefit oneself and benefit others, to enlighten oneself and enlighten others. The third commons white-hair mark shines from this land into other Buddha lands, and this represents the Dharma door of enlightening oneself and enlightening others, benefiting oneself and benefiting others. Walking the Bodhisattva way, you must enlighten yourself and enlighten others, benefit yourself and benefit others. This is the fifth important of seeing the practice of the Bodhisattva conduct. Sutra further was in the parinirvana of the Buddhas, and after the parinirvana of the Buddhas, the building of stupas with the 7 jewels to hold their sharira. Commentary. Further was in the parinirvana of the Buddhas, within the white hair mark light the Buddhas could be seen. Nirvana is a Sanskrit word which interpreted as meaning perfect stillness. It is said that the merit is nowhere not perfect and the virtue nowhere not still. Nirvana is also interpreted as meaning not produced or destroyed. Birth and death have been brought to an end, and after the parinirvana of the Buddhas, the building of stupas with the 7 jewels to hold their sharira. Stupas made of the 7 jewels were built to honor the sharira of those Buddhas. Sharari is a Sanskrit word which means efficacious bones. Stupas are building used to house the sharira. After Shakyamuni Buddha entered Nirvana, his body was cremated, and in the remains an uncountable number of sharira, bright gem-like relics were found. Jeweled stupas were built to contain them so that people could worship and make offerings to them. In the first commons white hair mark light, one could see how, in other lands, after the Buddhas entered Nirvana, their bodies were cremated and the sharira were obtained. Then stupas were built for them. Stupa, also a Sanskrit word, means a square grave. It also means a high and manifest place because they are tall structures which can easily be seen. What are the stupas used for? They are used to house the Buddha's sharira so that people can make offerings to them. Wherever the Buddha's sharira are present, the Buddha's Dharma body is also present. This is the sixth, the portent of seeing the Nirvana of the Buddhas. The fifth and sixth portents make up the pair of the beginning and ending. The Bodhisattvas are at the beginning. They are cultivating the way. The Bodhisattvas, the Buddhas have reached the end, the ultimate state of Buddhahood. This ends the discussion of the 6 portents in other worlds. I lecture to you coming and going, and you pay no attention. You must pay close attention to the Buddha Dharma in order to understand it fully. If it goes in one ear and out the other, it's of no use at all. You could listen for 100 years, yet it would be just as if you never heard. Why? Because you don't remember it. You don't take note of it. You are now listening to the Sutras and studying the Buddha Dharma. If you were to go somewhere else and were invited to speak, you could speak in such a way that it gushed forth unceasingly. Your mouths would be like raging rivers. Everyone would be very pleased. But then if some said, "Just one moment, excuse me, but I have a question. How many kinds of nirvana are there? Please tell me." You would gape, "Oh, I forgot. Well, who did you study under?" "I studied with a Dharma master for several years, but although I heard them, I've forgotten now." Would you say that was a losing face or not? You may not understand any of the profound aspects of the Dharma, but if you don't even know what the four kinds of nirvana are, you really lose face, wouldn't you? There's not much time left, so I just tell you the names. No doubt when I do, you will all recall them. If I didn't tell you, you wouldn't be able to remember them. Once I tell you, you'll pipe up and say, "I didn't forget." "Oh, you mean those four kinds?" If you know ahead of time, that's okay. If you have to wait until after I've been told and you've been told and then insist you knew it all along, it won't work. What are they? 1. The nirvana of the purity of the self-nature. 2. The nirvana with residue. 3. The nirvana without residue. 4. The nirvana of no dwelling place. Sutra. Then the Bodhisattva Maitreya had this thought. Now the world honored one manifests signs of spiritual transformations. What is the reason for this portents? The Buddha, the world honored one, has now entered samadhi, yet these are inconceivable and rare events. Who should I ask concerning them? Who could answer? He further thought. The Dharma Prince Manjushri has in the past drawn near and made offerings to limitless Buddhas. Surely he has seen such rare signs. I shall now ask him. Commentary in this passage of text, Maitreya Bodhisattva gives rise to doubts. What are his doubts? He doesn't understand what the Buddha is about to do. The Buddha has emitted light and the earth shook. The 6 portents were seen in this world and in other worlds as well. Maitreya Bodhisattva does not understand what the portents mean. For this reason, he has some doubts. When Maitreya Bodhisattva gives rise to doubts, the rest of the assembly does so too. Then the Bodhisattva Maitreya had this thought. Which Bodhisattva is he? He is the very fat one, the one who is always laughing. He is extremely compassionate. Whether you are a good or an evil person, he likes you all the same. He regards all living beings with equal compassion and doesn't make discriminations among them. Now the world honor one manifest signs of spiritual transformations. Now, the world honor one has manifested states of spiritual penetrations, transformations, and changes. He emitted light from the white hair mark, and there were the 6 types of earthquakes, all as a result of the Buddha's spiritual powers. The Bodhisattva had never seen them before, and so he didn't know what they meant. The Bodhisattva Maitreya is a successor Bodhisattva, a Buddha one. He is waiting for Shakyamuni Buddha to recite, and then he will realize Buddhahood in the Saha world. Although he is basically very wise, he still didn't know what the Buddha was going to do. Why didn't he know? Those at one level do not understand those on a higher level. The Bodhisattvas on the first ground do not know the state of those on the second ground. Those on the 10th ground do not know the realm of equal enlightenment, and the equal enlightenment Bodhisattvas do not understand the wonderful enlightenment of the Buddha. It is said, the common folk don't know the wise. Simple, common people are incapable of understanding the state of the wise. Why? Because being simple and common, their thoughts are stupid and dull. Either they don't go far enough or they go too far. People with scattered thoughts do not understand those with samadhi. People who are continually flustered and always glancing nervously about the north, east, south, and west do not know what the person sitting there in samadhi is experiencing. Ordinary people do not understand the stage. Those who have not certified to the fruit can't know the stage of the worthy sages. The sages of lesser wisdom cannot understand the wisdom of Shariputra, Bodhisattva, who is the foremost of the Buddha's disciples in wisdom. Shariputra is known as the greatly wise of Shariputra, great wise Shariputra. But even he cannot fathom the wisdom of the Bodhisattvas. He's just an arhat and compared to the Bodhisattvas, his wisdom is small. Bodhisattvas, that is, Bodhisattvas in general, cannot know the state of the successor Bodhisattvas, and the successor Bodhisattvas who do not understand the state of the ultimate venerable ones, the Buddhas. The Bodhisattva Maitreya is a successor Bodhisattva, and he will become a Buddha in the future and succeed Shakyamuni Buddha. But when Shakyamuni Buddha manifested states of principal transformations, Maitreya did not understand them, and so he gave rise to false thinking. Yes, even the Bodhisattva Maitreya can have false thinking. He thought, Shakyamuni Buddha is now revealing these appearances. Why? What is the reason? Why? Why the signs? Usually, Bodhisattvas do not indulge in false thinking, but he gave rise to 3 doubts. One, firstly, he thought about the Buddha's spiritual transformations, wondering, what is the reason for this portents? The Buddha, the world honored one, has now entered samadhi yet. These are inconceivable and rare events, which cannot be thought of with the mind or expressed in words. No one knows what they mean, what I'm going to do. Such things have simply never happened before. Secondly, he wondered who he should ask. Who should I ask concerning them? Which Bodhisattva? Who could answer? Thirdly, his third thought was to ask Manjushri Bodhisattva about them. Who should I ask? The Dharma Prince Manjushri has in the past drawn near and made offerings to limitless Buddhas. Surely he has been such rare signs. I shall now ask him. Since he has surely had the experience already, I will now ask him. This third thought cancelled out the second thought, for he had found someone to ask. Sutra. Thereupon the bhikshus, bhikshunis, upasakas, and upasikas, as well as the gods, dragons, gods, spirits, and others, all had this thought. Who should now be asked concerning the Buddha's bright light and signs of spiritual penetrations? Commentary. This passage expresses the doubts of the assembly. Not only did the Bodhisattva Maitreya have doubts, but so did everyone in the Dharma Assembly. They wondered what the Buddha was going to do. The gods and dragons, the ghosts and spirits also did not understand. From the white-haired mark light, the Buddha now emits light and manifests spiritual penetrations. Who should we ask about them? These are the true doubts of the assembly. One, they wondered about the six portents. Two, they wonder who to ask concerning them. Now, was Maitreya Bodhisattva really perplexed by all of this? Did he really have doubts? I don't believe so. Why not? Because in the past he had also drawn near to limitless Buddhas. By all rights, he should have had this experience himself, but he pretended that he didn't know, so that he could request the Dharma for the sake of the assembly. The doubts of the assembly were real enough, however, and this passage expresses their confusion. Sutra. At that time, the Bodhisattva Maitreya, wishing to resolve his own doubts, and further, regarding the thoughts of the fourfold assembly of bhikshus, bhikshunis, upasakas, and upasikas, as well as the thoughts of the assembled gods, dragons, ghosts, and spirits, and others, questioned Manjushri as follows. Commentary. We have talked about ghosts many times, but what are ghosts? I know that you say they're hungry ghosts and they're full ghosts. Well, what are hungry ghosts and what are full ghosts? In Chinese, the word for ghost is pronounced kui, which sounds the same as the word which means to return, kui. This means that when people die and become ghosts, they return. Where did they come from? They came from the Buddha. Now they return to the house or to the path of hungry ghosts. Why must they return there? Because they took the wrong road. They took for their own territory that which is not their own territory. They took the wrong road, and so they must return as ghosts. After this, when the word ghost comes up, you should remember that they are ghosts because they took the wrong road. They still must come back, return. In Chinese, ghosts are called kui, and in English, they are ghosts. You could say, go, ghost. Go where? They go off to hell, to hell, to hell. In English, a ghost is one who goes. Although I can't speak English, I can explain this English word. Spirits are called natural-minded. They have spiritual penetrations and evoke spontaneous responses. Maitreya Bodhisattva asked Manjushri as follows. Sutra. What are the reasons for these portents, these signs of spiritual penetrations, for the emanation of great light which illumines 18,000 lands to the east, so that the adornments in all those Buddha worlds are fully seen? Commentary. Great Bodhisattva, son of the Dharma King, please be compassionate and tell me, what are the reasons for these portents? What is the principle involved? Why has the Buddha now emitted light which is so great that it illumines 18,000 lands to the east? These signs of spiritual penetrations are truly great. I have never seen the likes of them before. What is the reason for the emanation of great light? It doesn't just shine nearby, it shines across 18,000 lands. We think that going to the moon is so remarkable and a historical first. Shakyamuni Buddha put forth light which shone across 18,000 worlds. That's even further than 18,000 moons or 18,000 stars, so that the adornments in all those Buddha worlds are fully seen. Not just a little bit was seen, they were seen in their entirety. How big the country was, how it was superbly adorned, all this appeared.